Hi! Welcome to Girl on Bliss. My name is Catherine, and this is the place where you can find diet, humor, and information on making a lifestyle change. Today, I want to talk to you about some title that really caught my attention. I read something somewhere that said, "The Benefits of Breathing." And I was really confused because I was like, why do I have to read about the benefits of breathing? Because, breathing is essential to survival. So, what could there be that's more interesting to learn about breathing? But believe it or not, I was the very person who really, really needed a lesson on this. So basically, when I was really overweight, I never realized that self-consciously I was holding in my stomach all the time. And part of the reason is because I didn't want anybody to kind of notice my stomach. So I was like subconsciously trying to make sure that nobody would direct their attention to that area. But the other reason was because I was wearing really tight pants all the time, and it just felt uncomfortable to kind of release my stomach. So these two kind of situations that I had were really preventing me from breathing properly. And I didn't find this out until I went to a yoga class one day, and the instructor said, you're not breathing right, you're only breathing in your chest. And I was like, well, what does that mean? As long as air is coming in and going out, like isn't that the point of breathing? But in reality, what you really want to do is you want to make sure that you're breathing all the way down into your belly. And it can be very awkward if you've been holding in your belly for a very long time, because suddenly you're like taking off all this tension and trying to force yourself to allow yourself to expand your belly. And if you're the type of person like me who's trying to make sure you don't look pregnant, that can be very awkward. You'll feel a lot of resistance when you're trying to expand and deflate your stomach. But the reason why breathing is so cool, and this is what I want to tell you about, is that your body uses two different types of fuel for energy. It can either use glycogen, which is basically sugars, for a very, very quick type of energy, or it could be using fats, which is located on, stored fat that's on your body. And what's interesting about this is once you've eaten something, you technically don't really have much control of how it gets digested, but depending on if you're stressed or not stressed, you have the ability to access which part of fuel your body uses. So if you're constantly in a state of stress, your body is going to be accessing the stored glycogen or sugars. And a lot of people who are under stress or have a lot of anxiety suddenly feel like they have all this sugar cravings, and that's because your body is trying to replenish really quick energy so that it can use it for this, very, cautionary area that you're in, that it needs to have this fight or flight response and run away from a bear. So on the other hand, if you're in a calm, relaxed state, then your body will naturally start to use the fat that's stored on your body. And that's really ultimately, if you want to do weight loss, that's really where you want to be. And so, for example, I used to work out way too much. I used to work out all the time. I was doing at least 2 hours every single day, and it was intense, vigorous exercise. I was doing ice hockey, I was doing kickboxing, I was doing P90X, I was doing weightlifting. I was really the type A type of person who really wanted to make sure that if I was putting something in, I was going to get out and reap a lot of reward. But what happened was that I was actually stressing out or putting too much stress on my body. And basically, my body was using sugars, and I had a lot of sugar cravings for quick energy. But the second I stopped doing all that, all I did was I just started walking, I started stretching, I started breathing. Sometimes I went to a yoga class, and then suddenly the weight just started falling off. And I always thought that this is really fascinating because I thought that more exercise leads to weight loss, but sometimes it's the right type of exercise leads to weight loss. You need to do something that is challenging, but not something that's going to put you in stress mode. So those are the tips that I had today for breathing, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much, and if you want some more tips, definitely go to girlonbliss.com. Bye!